One thing, though, that seemed like everyone was like, ooh, that's interesting, let's watch, was not the three-point contest, the special challenge between Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this. Anyone that had a problem with it or had a snide comment or just didn't get it, I feel sorry for you because, listen, it's no shock that the WNBA is not close to what the NBA is, right? Hey, women, I think you should support the women more, right? Women's sports are growing, but it's on women to support women's sports as well, right? No one's saying the WNBA is a super product. No one's saying you got to get involved in the WNBA.
Yeah, but men or women, shooters can shoot.
No one's saying that. But when this woman, Sabrina Ionescu,
26 years old, 5'11", New York Liberty. Again,
when she
shooting
matches,
is a great equalizer. You don't have to be 7 foot, 6 foot, anything, man or woman. It's a fun competition. I like that.
Did he get an in-season banner for that?
When she matches the 3-point total number of all the guys that did it.
Yeah, she matched Dame Lillard.
And lost to Steph by 3.
29-26, Curry wins. By the way, I think, even though no shame, and you lost to a girl.
There's a Sandlot?
There's probably a lot of extra pressure, I think, on Curry. And I think he would have been a good sport and gave her props if she won. But I think there was a little bit of pressure for him to win. I think so. Anyway. Maybe that's just the machismo side of it.
There's an old school side of it where it's like, he can't lose to a WNBA player. But
so I give him credit just for even
putting himself out there.
Putting himself out there.
You could argue that for Steph Curry, that was sort of a no-win. Well, because it's like you win, it's like, congrats. You lose, it's like, you lost?
Challenged her after she dominated.
No, she challenged him.
I'm sorry. Yeah. There was a challenge put out there after she dominated her 3-point in the women's only.
And the point I want to make, and we can move on, is that all the guys that are quick to say something snide or like sexist, she'd whoop all your asses. She came within 3 points of beating Steph Curry. So instead of saying, well, she using the woman's ball or the 3-point line, even though she used the men's line, she usually uses the woman's line. Who cares? It was a display of excellence. We should be giving this girl props. We should be giving her flowers, as the kids say. So props to Sabrina.
She should get a ring.
Ionescu.
Yes.
Sabrina Ionescu deserves credit. She deserves some love, especially under the pressure of joining.
You're competing against the greatest 3-point shooter, greatest shooter arguably of all time.
It's like the out-of-shape bozo that played high school baseball, and he's like, yeah, I can hit off of Jenny Finch. Jenny Finch would smoke you in softball.
Yeah.
Jenny Finch had, at one point,
there's still a part of me, though, that feels like I could pepper some contact, but
moron.
Who did she strike out? Albert Pujols, right?
She struck out Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds, that's right. Barry Bonds.
But Steve COVINO can hit her.
But I always, again, in my
machismo,
in my ego says,
no.
Well, I could at least, again, choke up, pepper a little contact. I mean, that's just my confidence speaking here.
No,
it's probably not true.
Wait, did you say probably?
Probably not.
How about, can we guarantee?
I mean, I don't know.
It's a little league, a home run leader.
You are a little league home run leader.
You're forgetting about my 27 little league home runs.
But if you're,
out of the park.
If you're stupid enough to think, that you could hit off of Jenny Finch in her prime pitching softball,
I'm not saying I'm teeing off, dude, and stroking like Clarence Carter. I'm not saying I'm hitting bombs and frozen ropes into the gap.
You're not doing anything.
I said a little
So you're gonna hit a ball.
Lay one down.
Yeah, lay one, a little check swing, blink.
So you think a little check swing's good enough?
But she did make Bonds and other superstars look foolish. So so I agree with you though. It's along that same line of thinking because of guys that think they can.
It's guys that are fools, and I'm not being all like feminist Rich Davis. I just think it's funny how the dopey slob sitting on his couch, dipping chips into the cheese on his belly, is like, look at her, look. I promise you, I saw someone put on Twitter last night. Listen, man, she did what like 70% of you guys couldn't do. And I'm like, 70%? How about 99.9%? Danny G,
I agree.
If you took 100 guys that even played basketball at the Y or at a pickup league.
Especially with the pressure involved.
Or anything. If you took 100 men that play basketball competitively at their local gym or in a league, she would beat 99.9% of them. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, 2 out of the 100.
Maybe.
battle.
You got to factor pressure into that. Like, there's a lot of funny people out there, right? Can they just hop on the mic and be entertaining?
Can I tell you, that's my favorite
thing. So you think
thing.
if you could shoot at the Y, shoot at the playground, and I get it, you're a good shooter, can you really do it under the bright lights in that moment against the Steph Curry? I don't know about that.
There is no way. The same way you would be buckling under the pressure if you were asked to throw out a first pitch. Or I told you this. I was the first to admit, in college, they called my seat. It was like one of those, like, what? If you're sitting in section 128, row 5, seat 3. I'm like, wait a minute. That's me.
Oh.
I got to go on the court at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse.
What were you up for? $10,000?
No, it was
new car.
It was $100.
No, $100.
It was $100 for each 3-pointer I hit from the top of the key. I'm man enough to admit that I'm a good athlete. I'm a decent basketball player. I can hold my own like with anyone. I'm a good ball player. The first 2, air ball before I got in my zone. Because you know what I'd never done before? Have you ever shot a basketball with a glass backboard and 30,000 people in an arena?
Yeah, it's definitely a different perception.
I don't think
adjustment.
Danny, have you done that? Joel, have you done that spot? Have you guys shot a basketball with a glass backboard with 30,000 people there?
You know what it was? You were probably feeling a little off because you were wearing your Brooks sneakers and not your Never Surrenders.
My Trumps?
Yeah. Yo, you got to shoot in those bad
My
boys.
point is, if Dame Lillard, if Steph Curry, if all the guys that were in this tournament got 26 and she got 26 and cleared the first rack, Steph said when she cleared the first rack, he was nervous.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
So all I'm saying is, when you see elite female athletes, instead of saying the obvious no-brainer, no one cares about the WNBA. Yeah, we get it. I agree. They need more fans. No, the interest level's not there. But instead of making the argument that who cares, how about just saying, what an elite athlete. Congrats to Sabrina
that's the win.
Ionescu,
the
right?
win here is showing, hey, we got skills. So it shuts up the naysayers. And you got to give props. I mean, if you watched UFC this weekend, you saw the women fighting are some of the most entertaining, skillful fighters out there.
I'm not saying I'm the
in
guy
the world
that's,
of boxing. There's some entertaining fights. So women are definitely dominating. That's not a surprise. But believe it or not, there are still a bunch of boneheads that don't give the credit where it's due.
And I'll say this: there was you can't be. No one's acting delusional too. No one's eye-rollingly saying women's sports are right where men's are right now. That's just simply not true. But instead of taking this as an opportunity to say, yeah, whatever, who cares about her in the WNBA? How about just giving this woman her props and saying, Sabrina Ionescu, you went out there, NBA All-Star Weekend, you competed and matched the numbers of guys like Dame Lillard and came within 3 points of beating Steph Curry in
amazing.
A 3-point challenge, which is something 99.9999% of us
and if you
could never do.
And if you're one of Rich's kids' friends' parents, we got to make it clear because, like you said before,
they don't know anything.
They're clueless. It was the first ever NBA versus WNBA 3-point contest, and Curry won 29-26. She tied Dame. She tied other superstars.
Do you think she could beat Dame Lillard head-to-head, though?
I mean, listen, if she
one-on-one?
They had the same
3-point shootout head-to-head. It's different when you're going at the person.
As far as skill, I think it's, a skill competition like this is a great equalizer.